Hey guys, Jay Helmsing here. Thanks for tuning in. I do apologize for the range conditions today. It is flooded, it is rainy, it is nasty out here, but it's a perfect time to test water survivability with two guns. So the Glock 19 Gen 5, and we also have the 509M. Okay, now some of you may watch my other videos and you realize that I said the 509M is dismal in water. I'm actually done with the testing. I'm just kind of recording this backward, but you guys can kind of see the water all over me, my sleeve rolled up. I'm drenched, okay? So I basically ran all of them through this bucket of water here, 10 rounds, just to see if I could get them to fire, what the difference between the two of them was, pulling them directly out of water and shooting them. Now I know for some of you that doesn't matter, okay? So this test is not going to really apply to anything. I try to bring you guys honest feedback and, you know, direct truth. I have no ties to anything. So I just wanted to bring it out here and see what would happen. Now, I'll show you the footage here in just a few moments, but basically the goal here was just to kind of see, you know, where we're at on these two guns. Was I overreacting and saying the 509 doesn't like water? You know, is the Glock going to be any different? I know some people said that striker guns in general don't like water, which is usually true, albeit, you know, you can get some maritime spring cups for the Glock if that's a big concern to kind of help clear that water out a little bit faster. There's really nothing you can do with a 509. Now, I have reached out to FN about the water issues, and I have not received any feedback or any response at all from them. I would assume they know the issue is there. I can only guess that I'm just, you know, nothing that they're going to put any time or effort in answering at this point. But yeah, I did reach out to them. I have got no response back as far as my initial findings. So we'll get on with the second test here today. We test these both back to back, same water, same conditions. Both guns are totally stock. So we'll show that footage here in just a few moments. And as a quick bonus, I happen to have an M17 here with me, which is the civilian version of the M17. It's not the military issued one, but it's about as close as I'm probably ever going to buy. But here we go. We'll go ahead and put that in there as well and just see what that does, just for some food for thought, because, you know, I know that's going to be the next question. Well, if the SIG, you know, is the new military gun and the 509 was in the same contest, does it have the same water issues? So I have no idea. Let's find out. Up first, Glock 19, no maritime spring cups, nothing done to it at all except for the sights. So let's see how this does. I'm going to put it in there. It is loaded with 10 rounds in it right now, one in the chamber. Basically, I'm just going to pull it up after it's got all the air bubbles out of it, shoot it fairly quickly as if I were to recover it from water. And then if it fires, we'll put it back in there and we'll keep going through those rounds till we get all 10 fired. So out of 10, we'll see how many malfunctions we have. So first one, ready to go? First one fired. Put it back in there. Round number 2 of 10. Here we go. Second one fired. That is some cold water too, boy. 3. Same thing there. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. And last round should be here. We'll see if it locks back. 10. And it did not lock back, but it's full of water. So fired all 10 rounds on the Glock 19. No maritime spring cups. It's a Gen 5, just as it came. So again, 10 rounds total, one in the chamber, 509. Same test, just pull it out, fire it, see what happens. Pull the air bubbles drain out. Okay, here we go. And first one, no go. All right. Medial action, light primer strike. All right. Second one. Second one, no go. Light primer strike. 3, still nothing. Man, it's some cold water. Should have thought this out a little bit better, I guess. And 4, what I'm going to do now, since it's gone through 4, none of them firing directly out of there, I'm going to wait a little bit of time, see if I can get it to drain out. So I'll make a count of 1001 and then pull the trigger. So here we go again. Bubbles are out. 1001 and still nothing. Okay, bubbles are out. 1001. Still nothing. I waited a little bit longer that time. So again, it's fired 0 of these so far. Here we go again. 1001, 1002. Still nothing. Just gonna see if it fires. Okay, it will. Let's see if it'll work. Okay, bubbles are out. 1001, 1002, 1003, and still nothing. All right, let's try something else. I'm gonna shake it out really good this time. I'm gonna pull it out. So again, it's fired none of them from the water so far. Here we go. 1001, 1002, 1003, still nothing. All right, and that was the last one. Guys, I don't really know where else to go with this. Again, that's Glock 19 versus the 509. It's just got a problem with water. It really does. So those of you out there that think that I'm, blowing this out of proportion or something, I just tried all the tricks you mentioned. I tried shaking it out. I tried waiting up to 3 seconds for it to drain. It just does not drain water in this striker gun. So again, there's nothing crazy or unusual. This is a completely stock gun, just like the Glock 19 was. I'll show you guys how light these primer strikes are if it'll focus in on it. Just barely hitting that primer at all. So really, really dismal water performance out of the 509. I know for most people it won't matter, it especially won't matter if you live in Arizona or someplace. But for law enforcement, for the military, for people who are going to be outdoors, for people who canoe, fish, operate around water and have their weapon on them, this to me is kind of a pretty serious setback. So I love the gun otherwise, but again, I mean, do the test for yourself. There's nothing crazy I'm doing here. There's no trickery. I just, wanted to put it out there for you guys just so you guys could see it right here on footage. All right, guys, Jay Helmsing here. What I'm going to do now, this is the M17, the civilian version at least. I know a lot of you are going to be asking, well, what does the SIG 320 do? Because the 509 doesn't do well in water. The Glock 19 seems to do okay in water. What's the M17 do? And the answer is I have no idea, but I do have one out here. So let's see, same test, 10 rounds, 1 in the chamber. We're going to see. I'm just going to pull this out of water, see if it fires out of water, or if it's going to have some issues in water too. So here goes M17 by SIG. A lot of bubbles coming up still. Okay, come on, come on. Okay, all the bubbles are out. Let's go. Oh, fired. All right. Try it again. Bubbles are out. That's 2. Man, I'm getting a bath over here from this one. Okay. All right. I'm going to just start pulling as soon as I can get it out, just as wet as possible, just to see what's going to happen with this. So that's 3 of 3 so far. So here we go again. 4, right out of the water. 5. Guys, I'm just barely getting it out of this bucket just to get it as drenched as I can, just to see if I can malfunction in water with this. 7. Air bubble still coming out. Still coming out. Okay, here we go. Okay. Still has not malfunctioned in water. I don't think it's going to malfunction in water at this point. I'm getting a second shower here, so. And had it locked open. So it did lock open. I'd actually say the M17 probably does better than the Glock does, at least without maritime spring cups. That Glock did not lock back on the last round, but you know, it is what it is. They all shot 10 out of 10 out of water. 509 shot 0 out of 10 out of the water. I don't know. I can't believe they entered that in the military competition. The MHS is terrible as it does in water. So there you have it. M17 out of water works flawlessly. So it's not just a striker gun thing. Those of you who are like, oh, all striker guns do that. Well, not really. Okay, so here you go, M17, 100% pass rate. All right, guys. Hopefully you like this test. I know a lot of people are going to be asking, what do I think of the 509? Well, I still think it's terrible in water, just like I said before. The trigger is getting much better, and I really, really regret that it's just no good in water. I wish I could carry that with confidence and know that, you know, if I come across any of these conditions, or if I end up in a situation where my weapon falls in water, it's still going to work. Just to show you guys, I did pick up all the rounds down the ground there. There's nothing wrong with the ammunition. I've loaded it up here. You can see the gun itself is still soaking wet. So it has had just a little bit of time to dry. We'll kind of shake it out just to show you that it does fire no problem when it's dry, okay, or at least remotely dry, you know, damp. There you have it. So again, it will fire no problem as long as it's just damp and not submerged. As soon as it gets submerged, we have these issues. Other than that, I love this gun. I really love this gun. I love the texture of it. I love the sights being the height that they are. I love the sight picture. I love the trigger, how it's broken in and gotten really nice. It's right about 6 pounds now. It is an awesome, awesome gun. Awesome size gun. I don't have anything bad to say about it, except it just doesn't like water, which for me being a law enforcement officer, that's kind of a big deal. We from time to time do get pursuits that go into water. We've had, you know, criminals swim out into ponds to get away from us, into rivers, things like that. Just recently with the flooding, we've had people pursue, you know, car pursuits go into water. You know, even though I don't live near the coast, it is kind of a concern, and I think it'd be a concern for really any law enforcement officer, any outdoorsman, anybody like that who is going to see water, or, you know, the potential to expose this to water. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. Jay Helmsing.